Hi YouTube, this is the homeschooling perfectionist here, and I hope you can hear me. I have my son in the background getting entertained so that he doesn't interrupt me, hopefully, while I'm recording this. But I wanted to share with you briefly how I plan on using my new Erin Condren teacher planner for homeschool. So hopefully this is helpful for somebody, especially when it comes to the checklists, because this is basically designed for public school teachers, not necessarily for homeschool teachers. So we have to kind of, work out some kinks. But I've managed to work them out and I wanted to share them with you guys. So let me get into it. Some things are covered for personal reasons. So here we have the About Me page. And I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm not going to do anything different with that. I'm going to keep everything here pretty much. Now, on this page, it was, I believe, classroom events and volunteers. So what I did was I actually covered up that information thanks to her stickers, and I put in monthly father and son. I forgot to put the son part, but monthly father and son activities. And so each month I'll be giving my son and husband an activity to do together. And then what I'll do is I'll just document that right here, the date, and then exactly what they did. But I'll just have like a theme. So like September, it'll be a certain theme, and then they can do, I don't know, puzzles or go on an outing and that kind of thing. I actually did this last year, but I did it weekly, and they kind of slacked off and towards the middle of the year, so I'm just going to be doing it monthly. Now, this I actually kept as a communication log to work with my son when it comes to his speech. So he had a speech delay and he's doing tremendously well. And I wanted to continue that and actually incorporate it in our homeschool. So I just kept this and left it alone, but I whited out this part and I put speech activities and the type of communication. And I had that on both. So that's what we'll be doing, and this is how we'll be utilizing our communication log. Some people might use it as a book log though, but I actually put that in another spot. So this I'm actually going to use as my attendance sheet. So instead of using one of the checklists and writing all the months and stuff like that, I've decided to just use this as my attendance sheet. I have my key right here, and then I will total out the days for that year here. And then what I did was I just made sure that I put totals for each month. So that way I don't have to try to go back and count everything. I'll just total them out, and I have that down for each month, and then I stopped at the summer. So that's how I'm utilizing this page. Now, they actually made a mistake, and my planner starts in July, but they had January here. So I had to call them and contact them, and they asked if I wanted to have it sent back or get credited. So I just got a credit, and I just used her flags to cover these up. And so I started it in July. So that's the reason why these flags are here. It was because they had an error and they actually started this in January. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did last year, and I'm going to use this as my monthly book theme. So every month we have a different theme, and I usually will go and research and find different books that he'll be reading for that month, and I'll write them down here. So that way, when I go to the library, I can get an idea of what books I would like to incorporate in our story times. So I'm going to utilize this page for that. The graph paper, I usually utilize this as a learning tracker for the end of the year review and evaluation. So I already have my key. I'm going to be going and looking up the different benchmarks that they need to learn, and I'm going to transfer that information here, and then I'll probably put like washi tape to separate the different things that I have to evaluate, just like I did last year. And that's how I'm going to be utilizing this. Last year I used all of the graph paper for that, so I'm pretty sure I'll be doing that same thing this year. And then here what I decided to do, these were just blank pages. So right here I decided to make this my school supply list. And I have my budget, and then I have my year-round budget, which is like a monthly thing. And I'm going to be writing down my list here. I already have my list, but I haven't transferred them here. I usually put my list, and then I'll put the price of each item, and then I'll kind of just check and track that. And then right here, I decided to make this a place where I'm going to put educational videos. So I just put some washi tape just to kind of decorate it up a little bit. Hi, Daniel. Go sit down, please. And then I'm going to put the title of the videos here, and then just the date that we watched them here. So that's how I'm utilizing this blank page, but it's just blank notebook paper. So this is summer, so let me go to when we start. Okay, so this is what we typically will start. This is typically going to be an art section. Actually, let me go to an actual page. That's where I have my frequency for homeschool. So this is how a typical spread would look before each month. I'm going to have art ideas here. Probably going to go on Pinterest and print out some pictures and different things like that and tape them here just to kind of give me an idea of, what kind of projects we need to do for art. So these are just art ideas. And then here I'm going to just leave this for notes section. And then right here, I'm going to list the books that we read that month. So this is the way I'm going to track my books on a monthly level, and then I'm going to transfer them on the checklists in the back. But this is just a great way to utilize this space right here. I think it says dates to remember, but I just kind of whited it out a little bit, and then I covered it up with one of her flags or functional stickers. So this is how I'm utilizing that, and I literally have that for each month, color coded. So that's pretty much the setup. And then my weekly or my monthly spread, I have a Bible verse. So we're going to be memorizing a Bible verse or two. He knows Bible verses already, but we've been singing them. So I actually want him to just recite them without singing. So we're going to be putting that here for each month. And then my weekly spread is just the subjects. And then I have a separate part right here for speech activity. So that's how I'm utilizing that. Now let's go to these checklists, because that's the thing that we always struggle with. Daniel? No. So here I'm again using her lovely stickers. She really did her thing when it came to the stickers this year. So this sheet I'm going to use for the Bible verses, and I'm going to just put down the books and the verses right here. And then depending on what they are, let me put it sideways. I'm going to check off like certain things that the Bible verse talks about. So like if it's family or obedience, love, kindness, giving, any kind of subject that Bible verse speaks on, I'm going to check it off here for my own reference. Now, just FYI, if you do this, do it in alphabetical order. I didn't do that because in this one, because it was coming off the top of my head, and then I thought about it. Should have had an alphabetical order so that it's easier to find. But nonetheless, this is what I did for this checklist. This checklist I'm going to have for STEM activities. So I'm going to list my projects here, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do right here, this part, but I'm going to list my projects here for STEM. Then music activities. So I'll have the different activities I'm going to do here, and then these are going to be like sing-alongs, videos, projects, groups, circle time, books, audios, and anything else I could come up with. And then I'll check those off depending on that project. So if that project is covering any of these things or multiple things, then I'll check those off. This one is going to be art supplies inventory. So I'm going to put all my art supplies here, and then I put the amount in stock here. And then what I'll do is when I replenish my stock, I'll just write the date here and then just track it like that. So that way I'll be able to track my art supplies inventory, since we'll be doing a lot more art this year. So this is where I'm going to have my book log. So I'm going to transfer all my monthlies and put them in one spread here. And I have my books here. And then I have just different subjects that those books might cover, and I will check them off depending on what that book actually covers. Again, try to do an alphabetical order if you can. And I know we're going to be reading more books. We always read more than this. So I did another page just to continue it. So a book log, and I have it continued. And this is where I did it in alphabetical order. So I finally got it. The hint to do an alphabetical order. Then my last checklist I'm going to be using for field trips. So I'm going to put the location and date here. And then again, I'm going to put the learning areas. So depending on the field trip, whatever learning areas those would cover, then I would just check them off there. And then that way I can just make sure that I'm documenting what he's learned and how that relates to the school. So I hope that this helps anyone that's trying to figure out how to utilize their teacher planner, their homeschool, their Erin Condren teacher planner when it comes to homeschooling. Hopefully this helps, and hopefully this will give you some ideas on how to use your checklists. So thank you so much for listening or watching or both. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you haven't purchased a planner yet, or if you never purchased an Erin Condren planner, I'm going to put the link of where you can get $10 off of your purchase in the description box below. Thank you. God bless, and have a great day. Bye bye.